Hi, this is Bob with Bantam Built, the tiny house company out of Chicago. And today I want to teach you how to frame a tiny house wall. There's a lot of different ways to do it. This is how we feel gives us the strongest wall for your tiny house. So a couple of things that I want to point out while this wall is on the ground is, because we're on concrete, we attach these little wood blocks to the floor. Now, if you frame these walls on, say, the tiny house trailer after the deck has been installed, then you'll have wood to nail to. The reason this is important is that after the wall gets all of its studs attached to the top and bottom plate, we want to attach the wall to something solid so that it's very easy to shift the wall and make it square. So one of the ways that we find out once our wall has been framed, and we're going to stand this wall up in a couple of minutes so you'll be able to see exactly how we lay out the wall. But to give you an example of how we square these walls is we will attach our tape measure to the corner of our wall. Now we have these blocks put in place to hold the wall square, but this is just more of an example. And we'll pull diagonals. And so we have 153 on this side. And what we're looking for is we're looking for two numbers that are exactly the same. So when we pull our diagonal this way and we pull across our wall, we want to get the same number of 153. Now, let's say this side was 150 and our other corner was 153. That would tell us that this corner needs to get farther away from this corner. So we would want to move the wall 1.5 inches this way to get our diagonals exactly the same. So you take the two numbers, your high number and your low number, find out the difference, and then divide that by 2, and that's how much the wall needs to move in any one direction. I want to explain this concept because a lot of people try to just square the wall off of the plywood, or they take measurements in ways that they think is going to square the wall, or they try to use a framing square. The best way to square your wall after you've already built it is to pull these diagonals like that and to use that simple math. Now, I'd like to stand the wall and show you how easy it is. When you have two blocks on that end, you can pick this wall up, one person, or two if you got a guy like Santiago, and stand the wall up just like that. There's a couple of things I want to go through here. We'll start with the window opening. Obviously, depending on whatever your design is, you're going to have windows in whatever location. So I'm really not going to focus on heights and measurements like that. But what I want to do is focus on building construction. So what we do is we'll put a double sill plate and a double top plate. Now this is a non-load bearing wall. This is one of the side walls. In the case where you'd have a window on, say, a load bearing wall, then these studs would then be turned tall ways, and it would probably be a 2x6. But what's important is how this whole structure is comprised. So whether you run a double top and a double bottom, or you run a traditional header that would be standing upright, it's important to lock them in place. So a lot of traditional framing you'd have a stud here to hold the sill plate, and then we put our king stud or our jack stud right in here that locks this together to lock this together. And then a lot of people in like normal traditional framing of a normal house, they would not have this up here. But because we want to keep things very locked in tight, whether we do our header this way or we stand it upright, we're always going to lock in the top so that there's no twisting and shifting. On the corners, We're gonna put our stud on the end, and then we're gonna turn our next stud to be like this. And the reason we do that is when we attach this wall to our other wall, we already provide for blocking. So when we put our interior covering or cladding on the inside of this house, we already have blocking in this corner because we've put this here. Plus it allows us to attach the other wall by going right through here and gives us a really solid corner. Now, let's talk about the top. So when I put the wall back down, we in our block. Okay. You'll notice on the top of here that we've got our double top plate, but we've left this much open. And the reason we do that is then once the other wall comes together, then we'll do another double top plate on the other wall, but this one will come past the other wall and lock into here. And this creates a really tight corner and adds a lot of strength to the wall system. The last thing I want to show you is our zip system made by Advantech. This is a really fast and easy way to sheet the house and also get it watertight. Somewhere around here. This is our zip tape. It's extremely sticky, and what we'll do is once we have all of our sheets on, then we'll take this and we'll follow this dotted line so we stay nice and center, and we'll roll this tape across all of our seams. We use 3-inch framing nails to attach this sheathing, and we follow their pattern that they've laid out to do so. So every 8 inches or so, we'll get that nail in there. The upfront cost of the zip system is expensive. Or at least it appears to be expensive in comparison to traditional plywood, things like that. The nice thing about it is it's a very watertight way to lock the house together, but also offers a very simplistic way to get the house watertight. If you used a house wrap, you'd be looking at this big long roll and 3 people having to like kind of hold it around, staple it up. It's not watertight, it's not airtight. Where with this system, you could literally build the house yourself, depending on how heavy the walls are, but this is a very fast and easy way. It really comes out to the same cost as if you were to do traditional house wrap. Well, listen, I hope you've enjoyed this. I have to go on to do other things today, but I wanted to spend some time and explain how we frame walls. If you've liked this video, please like it. If you have any questions about framing or anything else related to tiny houses, leave those questions in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit that button below. Be sure to turn on the notifications so that you know exactly when we upload a new video every single day. And I hope you've enjoyed this and have a great day.